Alright, welcome everyone. Today we are going to check out one of my favorite games on the Wii U, Splatoon. Splatoon is basically a multiplayer game where you go online and you can play in teams of 4 versus other teams of 4, and you battle it out as squid kids called Inklings. The main mode of the game is called Turf Wars, main online mode. And basically with that, the goal is to use your various Inkling weapons that you get to put ink in your team's color all over the ground. And if you can put more ink in your color than the other team does, then you win for that round. So today we're just going to start from scratch, so it's going to run through the tutorial here, and we'll show you how the game's played, and then get into some actual gameplay footage here. So when you first start, you get to choose your gender, whether you want to be an Inkling girl or an Inkling boy. We'll go with the boy this time here. And you see up in the top right there, it says you can use the right stick, that's over here, to rotate your view so you can see what they look like. Which that's pretty cool. So we'll just go ahead and use A to make a choice here. And you can select your skin tone, all sorts of different options there. Go ahead and pick one. And then your eye color. Let's go crazy and choose pink. That works for me. This is cool. You can totally change this stuff later if you want. So yeah, later on if you want to mix it up, get a fresh look, then you totally can. So we'll just pick that for now. And then it'll toss us right into the tutorial for how to play. It says, hey you, yeah you, want to be the freshest squid on the block? We'll teach you some funky fresh moves on the way to Inkopolis. Sounds good, Splatoon. So it says on the screen here, shoot ink with ZR and pop the balloons. Aim with controller. So, and there you can see it's got a flashing indicator, so that ZR button is actually here. R, ZR, L, ZL. So you can see that's actually controlled by how I move the controller in my hands. Physically move it. So, because it has gyroscopic controls in the controller that can actually detect more or less the general direction that you're holding the controller. So you press ZR and it shoots out all this ink from the weapon. And you can see it inks all over on the ground as you do that. So right now we'll just aim and pop these balloons here, and you can see if I press forward, it goes there. And now on the screen it says move with left, so move with the left stick. So alternatively, as you actually walk around, since this is just controlling which way you face, you actually have to move with the left stick here. So combination of turning and walking, so you can walk left and right, forward and backwards, all directions, and then turn in a different direction. It takes some getting used to. I'm honestly not very good with these motion controls like this, because you also have the option to play with a more traditional control set, and that's usually what I favor. So it says look left and right with right stick, so you don't have to just do it this way. You can also control the camera to some degree with the right stick as well. So bear with me here with my inept abilities for these motion controls here. So we set the camera with Y. Okay, so on the Y button, so hold it in a comfy position. So no, if it ever gets like crazy and you're not really comfortable, then you can just say, okay, this is comfortable, and then it centers. I just press Y there, and you saw how it centers back. So it'll center based on whatever way you're holding it. So you want it somewhere comfortable, and then press Y to be like your middle point. of the camera controls. Okay, so we'll make our way through here and keep popping these balloons. And see what we have in store next here. Use the right stick to move the camera. Left and right. So it's turned into a squid with ZL. So that's this one here. On the back, and you can see on the screen it's giving you a little flashing indicator on the left there. So you actually turn into a squid. You can swim in ink as a squid. So there's a squid. That's what it looks like when you turn squid form. And you'll do this all the time as you play. It's very common. So you'll notice the speed that you're moving. If you go into squid form, you can move around pretty well. But if you get in your own color ink, like we have on the ground here, see how much faster? And you'll move a lot faster that way. So it's a good mobility control feature of the game. And as you're swimming around in your ink, you can make paths for yourself and your other teammates to swim through and move at a much faster rate than you would just running in kid form or even squidding around without the ink. So let's just follow the balloons here. Do our best to pick it up. You can even swim up walls. Okay. So then you see the note there, your ink refills quickly while you swim. So it's your main method to refilling your ink tank. So as we go here, and I'll show you, you can just go right up this wall here. You can even go up a flat wall like this one. So we'll just ink it. And normally you wouldn't be able to go up there, but if you go into squid form, you can swim right up that wall. We missed the balloon. There we go. Jump with X, even as a squid. So you hit the X button here, and you'll jump. And then in squid form, you'll also jump. You can jump right up there. And it says now, while swimming, press X to dash jump. You'll jump much farther than normal. So, and I'll just demonstrate that here. So we'll ink the other side. Now, if I just run and jump to try to get through this gap, you're not gonna make it. So, you actually, if you go through in squid form, since you move so much faster, you have the greater momentum, and that will allow you to leap all the way across. Barely, but at least you can make it. You can see the difference there, and the advantage of having all the mobility of swimming around in your ink. So use ZL to swim through grates. So in squid form, if you see in the game, if you ever see like a fence-looking thing or even a platform that you can stand on, and it looks like this, you can swim right through it. Versus when you walk, you can't walk through it. You just go into squid form real quick, and you can go right under that thing. Uh-oh. Because use ZR to cover enemy ink with your color. You get stuck in ink that's not your color. So this is like the enemy team's ink color is basically what it is. And you see how much slower you move in here. It's like moving through mud. You can't even get anywhere. And you can't go into squid form either. You protest. It says, wrong color. But if you ink the ground a little bit, then you're safe. Then you can just say, cover all this crazy fuchsia colored ink with blue, team color. So you can see how big of a difference it makes moving in enemy ink. You do not want to be in the enemy team's color ink, if at all possible, at any time, because it can mess you up pretty bad. It doesn't actually damage you, so that's good, but it just hampers your mobility incredibly, even compared to your normal mobility if you're just walking around. Throw bombs with R. Okay, so that's the top one up there. It says bomb. Don't forget to swim with ZL to refill your ink. So in this case, bombs are what's called a sub-weapon. And so each, we'll showcase this a little bit later on, but But different kinds of weapon sets have their own sub-weapon and special weapon. So in this case we've got the regular splat bomb. And they are usually very ink, I don't know, like ink intensive, I guess you might want to say. So you can shoot these, but we'll just go ahead and throw a bomb at it. You can see, poof, it blows them all up. So, you know, they're good to use sometimes, but I would say use them sparingly because it's going to take a lot of ink. So, I don't know if you can see on the back that well with all this text in the way, but the little tank that he's carrying there on his back, that's actually your ink tank, and you can see as you use it, you can watch the level actually drop down. And when that light goes off like it just did, that was on top, that's how you know you don't have enough ink to use your special, or I'm sorry, use your sub-weapon. So, you can see it takes a majority of the ink tank worth of ink to be able to use Splat Bomb in this case. So now I'll use it again and watch how far down that ink tank goes. And it almost goes all the way down. So then you have to duck back in your ink and refill. So you can see that you can't just sit here and keep throwing bombs all day. It's not going to work. You'll get the low ink indicator because you don't have enough. So I'll keep that in mind. So we're going, so we ink this wall here. That way we can swim up it, because otherwise there's no way to get up here. You can't jump that high. You can't even jump that high in squid form. So you gotta squid your way up here, and then you can actually scale the wall. So anytime you see, I'll point this out now too. You see these little bumpers that are up on the wall here? That sort of thing, we could check it out down here. It probably makes more sense. So I'm just gonna ink up here, but you'll notice these bumpers. Anytime you try to go up those, you hit your head, and the game doesn't let you. So anywhere in a stage, you'll see things like that. And it just means that you're not able to actually scale that wall completely. So keep an eye out for that. Now we'll ink our way up here the rest of the way. Swim. And this tutorial is just about over here. So Alex says, alright, you're ready for action. Press ZL to super jump. So we'll go over here, and you see the little indicator on the screen. Press ZL, and off we fly into Inkopolis, and the main hub of the game. So